Hello YouTube, hope you folks are having a great day. Today I'm going to talk about a couple of common mechanical issues on a GMC Envoy with the 5.3 liter V8. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my GMC Envoy content. We also have another Envoy, same color but with the 4.2 engine since new. The GMC Envoy has been a family icon vehicle for us and continue to do so. I love these vehicles, but of course, as anything ages, there comes problems. Let's get right into the video. I bought this one owner Envoy last year for about $3,500 Canadian. The original owner had taken very good care of it on the outside, but on the inside it was a completely different story, and it was an absolute nightmare to clean it out. I've installed new AC lines to the rear, new water pump, new spark plugs and wires, as well as changed the rear differential oil since my purchase of this vehicle. Other than that, it's been a fairly reliable vehicle. Let's get into the issues with these things. Problem number 1, DOD system failure. If you have a 2005 and higher GMC Envoy with the 5.3 liter V8, they all have a cylinder deactivation system called displacement on demand, where it shuts off half the cylinders when cruising around at lower speeds. These systems are initially great, but after about 150,000 miles or so, the lifters will fail and you will eventually have to rebuild the engine or replace it. The two main causes of this problem is related to oil pressure and quality. If the engine has oil or low oil pressure, it can mean that the latching pins don't engage properly, causing them to break. Dirty oil can also clog up the solenoids and pins, holding the lifters in one place. Although keeping the oil clean can prevent this issue from happening, it still doesn't guarantee anything. So that's why many owners completely delete and tune the system, which is a costly repair, but it's worth it if you're planning to keep this car for a long time. The cheaper route is to do a software disable on the system, but it won't keep the lifters from failing. Luckily, I did my research before buying this vehicle, and thankfully this 2004 GMC Envoy does not have the DOD system on it. Problem number 2, rear main seal leak. This is a very common problem with these vehicles as they age. It is a labor-intensive job which involves pulling the transmission back just enough so you have enough room to slide in a new seal. It's about a 10-hour job and the shops quote at least $1,000 to get it done. I too have this leak, as you can see here on my GMC Envoy. I'm waiting for the transmission to go out so I can do the transmission rebuild as well as the seal together. My leak is not a major leak, it's like one drop every 3 days. But I do want to get it fixed sometimes in the future, for sure. I haven't tried putting any stop leaks as of yet, but I do plan on doing that and seeing if it works, so stay tuned for that. Problem number 3, throttle body failure. If your Envoy is telling you to reduce engine power, but you've replaced all spark plugs, coils, spark plug wires, MAP and MAF sensors, is most likely caused by a dirty throttle body. Some owners have cleaned the throttle body, but still they're experiencing the symptoms such as reduced engine power, no power during acceleration, and engine stalling. If this is the case, a new throttle body and wiring harness will fix the problem. I was lucky and I was able to get away with cleaning the throttle body. I used the cleaner to clean the throttle body, and boy was it dirty, and the vehicle ran like new afterwards. So once or twice a year I clean my throttle body as a preventative maintenance. Problem number 4, failing transmission. The 4L60E transmission doesn't have a good track record when it comes to reliability. Thankfully, they are cheaper than many other transmissions if you are planning to rebuild or replace it. On our 4.2 Envoy, the transmission was rebuilt around 120,000 kilometers, more than 10 years ago, and is surprisingly still rocking today with over 450,000 kilometers on the clock. However, on our 5.3, I believe it still has the original transmission. It's slipping in second gear and slams from first to second, but it's still running. And I don't know what we were thinking, but we took this on a 12,000 kilometer road trip to Toronto, Canada from British Columbia, and it was fine. No problems at all. Problem number 5, front differential leak. This is a problem with all GMT 360 vehicles, regardless of engine. This is also a very labor-intensive job to do the seals on the front differentials if you have the four-wheel drive. I have this leak on my 4.2, but luckily not my 5.3 as of yet. I don't use the four-wheel drive in these vehicles that much, so I don't really worry about it, but it can really mess up your driveway. Sometimes you will hear a whining noise when you use 4 high or low. This usually indicates that there is low fluids in the front differentials, so it's a good idea to get that fixed if you use your four-wheel drive system. Problem number 6, water pump failure. I've had the water pump replaced twice on this 5.3 liter V8. The first time it was installed, it wasn't done right, so coolant started leaking again. Second time I did it, I used a genuine GM part and pressure tested it for leaks, and it's been good ever since. No leaks at all. This job can run anywhere between $300 to $600 Canadian to get the water pump replaced, or you can do it yourself for a lot cheaper by looking at a YouTube video. But definitely be prepared to do a water pump on these 5.3, especially as they age. The 4.2 is still kicking with the original water pump, which is crazy to believe. Last but not least, problem number 7, exhaust manifold leak. It's a very common problem on these Envoys, especially the 4.2, but it is also common on the 5.3 as well. The 4.2 has one exhaust manifold, but the 5.3 has two, one on the passenger side and one on the driver's side. I just finished replacing the one on the passenger side on this 5.3. Some of the symptoms included ticking noise on a cold start. It usually goes away once the vehicle is warmed up, but it's definitely noticeable and annoying. These tend to fail because it goes through so many hot and cold cycles and the manifolds tend to crack, causing exhaust leaks. This ran me about $250 Canadian to get it done, but it's definitely worth it. Like I said before, I love these Envoys. You still see many of them out there these days. They are cheap to maintain and there are so many parts available. If you do plan on purchasing an Envoy, keep these issues in mind and budget for it. Hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure to subscribe and support this channel for more content. Thank you.